Welcome everybody, I'm Veronica, and today I'm on the inside edge of the rising stars in men's figure skating. Coming up on Olympic season, if the last time you tuned into figure skating was 4 years ago for Beijing 2022, you might be surprised to find out how much the landscape has changed. While we haven't made official predictions yet, our all-star video series will give you the rundown on the most dominant teams or skaters in each discipline who will likely be vying for podium spots. In the case of the deeper teams, all of the possible candidates who are competing for the spots their country earned at the qualifiers to go to the Olympics in the first place. However, there's also a lot of skaters rising in prominence, whether they are competitive for those spots or will be faces to keep an eye on for this next quad, looking towards 2030. Besides being a figure skating fan, I am a basketball fan, so I am going to take some inspiration from the Rising Stars team they put together for each all-star break to make my list here for each discipline. I will choose 6 skaters per discipline in their first 3 years as a senior, as well as 4 juniors. My cutoff for if I'm counting them as seniors or juniors is essentially if they'd be eligible to compete at the Olympics in 2026, whether or not they have competed full senior seasons before that, or even if they decide to turn senior for this coming season. Of course, all of this is based on pure potential and we never know what might happen. Also, keep in mind for the rest of the series that in pairs and dance teams might change as time goes on and across nationality lines, so those are even more in flux than the single skaters we're going to be talking about today. Without further ado, here are my Rising Stars teams, starting with the men. Among the seniors, we have several bright faces, people who have competed seniors already, and people who haven't competed senior seasons but who would be eligible for them, or will be eligible for competing senior next year. The first person I want to mention is Adam Hagara from Slovakia. Adam has just been one of the most consistent juniors out there, even when he's competing in senior events since he is eligible. And Slovakia doesn't have a deep team, so Adam has been competing at senior Europeans and Worlds for the past couple of years. He has recorded some great personal bests and overall really impressed me the first time I watched juniors on the Grand Prix series and especially at the Youth Olympics, where he won a silver medal. He got bronze at the Junior Worlds in 2024 and repeated that in 2025. In terms of senior events, he was 11th at Senior Europeans in 2024, 12th in 2025, and also managed to secure an Olympic spot for Slovakia at Senior Worlds. On the Grand Prix, he got bronze at the Junior Grand Prix final in 2024 and a couple of medals in 2025, bronze and silver, though he barely missed out on the final just because of assignment luck and how things shook out. But Adam's skates are just so incredibly consistent. You rarely see him majorly falter, and he has one of the most gorgeous triple axels out there. His transitions especially are impressive. When I was cutting the sections for this video, I just kept having to start the section before each of Adam's jumps very early on because it is so seamless, the transition between choreography and a jump. He doesn't telegraph them at all, and these are not easy transitions either. In terms of artistry versus tech, neither stands out over the other with Adam. They are both pretty good, and while he does show some more juniorish qualities, as is to be expected from somebody who's on the junior circuit, it's not like the artistry is lacking at all, and the tech isn't lacking either. Again, he is consistent. He hasn't competed quads yet, but I assume he's working on them for a full transition into seniors this Olympic season. And I do think it is commendable that he is worried about cleanliness and execution instead of just bringing a lot of new elements in at once. Some people do, and I mean, some people prefer that method, it's fine, but I think that it's one of the things that I really enjoy about Adam is just how consistent he is and how much attention there is to every single detail. It isn't only about the jumps for him, it's about creating a cohesive whole in his programs. The other thing that we know from interviews is that he wants to try to branch out and create different kinds of programs than what he's shown already, which is great for versatility. And finally, we also know from interviews that one of Adam's dreams is to help popularize figure skating in Slovakia enough so that they can field a full Olympic team one day for the team event, which requires at least one skater in every discipline. So I hope that his incredible results and just history-making performances for his country help bring that in. I love seeing the small federations in figure skating succeed, and I cannot wait to see more of Adam on the senior circuit, especially once the rest of his friends from juniors join him, because they are just a great group overall, and I love their dynamic, and they will absolutely be super refreshing to the senior circuit when they're all there. The next skater I wanted to mention is Alexa Rakic from Canada. He's posted some pretty good personal bests and fully made his transition to senior this year, competing at Skate Canada for the first time. He was 8th at Junior Worlds in 2024 and won the silver medal at 2024 Canadian Nationals. He unfortunately had to withdraw at the 2025 Nationals. Alexa is more known for his technical skating than his artistic skills, and hopefully is one of those faces that will bring Canadians men's skating out of the rut it's in right now, where everybody's kind of inconsistent. Next up is Jacob Sanchez from the United States of America. Jacob personally was a revelation to me at the Youth Olympic Games last year. I'd never seen him compete before, and he won the short program there in stunning fashion over the favorites like Adam Hagara and Ryo Nakata. And even though he ended up in 4th at that event because of a rather shaky free, this season he's gone on to an undefeated Junior Grand Prix series, winning both of his assignments and the final in just absolutely stunning fashion, and then doing pretty well at US Nationals, competing as a senior, even trying to vie for that 3rd spot on the US Worlds team. He didn't get it, but he still had pretty good results, and I think that he's one of those faces of the future, especially as some of the older generation of skaters that are still sticking around for those 2nd and 3rd spots at nationals and on the US assignments, like Jason Brown and maybe even Camden Pulkkinen, retire. Jacob will perfectly fit in alongside Ilya Malinin, and I very much look forward to see what he does. He is a very strong technical skater, even being on quads right now, though he doesn't compete them very often and hasn't landed one cleanly yet in competition, but his triple axel is spectacular and has earned GOEs over a point many times actually. So I very much look forward to see what he's gonna do.
Skating to the Citron Cross.
And the last of the senior men, we have Anthony Paradis. I classify him as a senior because he will be eligible to compete senior next season, even if he hasn't so far, except at Canadian Nationals. Now, Anthony's personal best numbers are a bit lower than everyone else, and in general, he isn't in as high of a tier. That is mostly because he doesn't have the hyper-competitive elements like the triple axel, which he is working on, or any quads. But if there's one thing that sets Anthony apart, and the reason I put him on this list, it's because he is a performer. His choreography, his creativity, his style, it's just so unique. There's nothing else like it in the circuit, honestly, even including current seniors, people who would be vying for Olympic medals. It's just astounding. Anthony's technique is good, so he does have the potential to get those more competitive elements, and he is improving in terms of consistency. But like I said, really what sets him apart is his artistry. If you think about some of the fan favorites, hyper artistic skaters, people like Jason Brown and Denis Vasilyevs, I think Anthony is the heir apparent to what they're currently doing. But I think honestly, as much as I love Denis especially, Anthony's even more unique in his style and choreography. Just every single one of his programs is so different from anything I've ever seen before. And he has so much potential. He's one of these people that draws you in, and you just can't help but love. His personality on and off the ice is fantastic. It's just incredible. In terms of accomplishments, Anthony was 15th at Junior Worlds in 2024, and he's medaled twice at Canadian Nationals, bronze in 2024 and silver this past year in 2025. Amazing skates, especially this year. I mean, so much so that people were asking, oh, can they send Anthony to 4 continents? Because, like I said with Alexa, the state of Canadian men's figure skating is a bit weird right now, but he doesn't have the senior mins yet, unfortunately. I do wonder if he'll try to get those for next season and make a bid for the Olympic team, but he has the potential. I think that even if it's not this year, 2030 is absolutely a day to keep an eye on with him, because I think that's going to be the real moment when he becomes a star beyond figure skating fans, a little bit, say, like Adam Rippon did at 2018. Just, I wish him all the best every single time, because he just has so much potential, and I am so looking forward to many more years of his choreography and his vision on the ice. Even after retirement, he said in interviews that he'd like to go into choreography and coaching once he's done skating, so that's going to be fantastic as well, even though we're many years off from that. Now, moving on to the juniors, the people who are not eligible to be competing for those Olympic spots, even if I wish they were, because some of them are only missing the cutoff by a few months. We have Ryo Nakata from Japan. Now, Ryo is a star. He has some of the best personal bests we've seen so far. He won silver at Junior Worlds in 2024, 5th at the Youth Olympics in 2024, and that was a rough competition for him, which says how good he is. 5th is low. Gold at the Junior Grand Prix final in 2023 and bronze in 2024, and even silver at Japanese Nationals in 2024 this past season, coming in 2nd to Yuma Kageyama, beating everybody else. If there's something you have to know about the Japanese team, is how deep it is in both of the singles disciplines, and Ryo just putting on 2 impeccable programs shocked everyone with this one. I was very happy for him, and yes, some of it depended on the other people falling apart a little bit, but Ryo did his job. They were incredible skates. He is very consistent technically. He has a fantastic quad toe, which almost always earns above 1 point in GOE. A bunch of the ones I can find are over 2 actually. He's also done it in combination with a triple toe. He's landed a quad sal once. That earned him a 1.94 GOE, and a quad loop once, also above a 1 in GOE, which is pretty big. And on top of all those quads, he is rumored to be working at a quad axle. A quad axle, okay? There's no video of it so far, but some people were reporting online that he was trying it at practice for one of the domestic competitions, Inter High, and I don't know, this is huge. Again, he's missing the cutoff, but it would be really interesting to see if he actually manages it with Ilya around, because what would that rivalry look like? You know, would be even more fun in an Olympic year, but what else can you do? Both of them are very similar in terms of the mix between technical prowess but also artistic skills. I do think Ryo at his age is better at artistry than Ilya was at his age, something that kind of comes with the territory of being a Japanese skater. They all have great skating skills and PCS in general. It'd be really interesting to see like how they compete with each other in this storyline of like the young guy coming in with potentially the element that is Ilya's signature, or what most people know him by. I'm just very excited for this possibility. And even beyond this like technical prowess, like we've talked about, Ryo has fantastic artistic skills and interpretation. He's usually picked like stronger programs. I don't think I've seen him do anything slower or more balletic, but what he does do, he does very well. I just love the interpretation. Look up these programs that I'm showing in full because they are worth it. In general, I just can't wait to see what's coming next with Ryo. He is a star. He is the future of Japanese men's skating. And not that the people we have now are bad by any means, that we still have a couple of young guys. I was reminded today, watching Four Continents, that Kawamiura is only 19, which he looks older than that, so I always forget he's that young. But it's just very, very exciting all around. Next on the list is Min-Kyu Seo from Korea. He won the junior world title in 2024 and followed it up with a silver at the junior Grand Prix finals the following season, and then another silver at junior worlds. He is just a great mix of tech and artistry. He has consistently very high GOEs. You look at any of his protocols and most of them have multiple, if not most, of the elements, especially the jumping ones, in +1 GOE territory. And then in terms of artistry, he has amazing grace and flow, and he is very expressive and connected to the music. Rewatching some of his programs for this, I was reminded of the storytelling capability he has when the music already has a little bit of that. He is Notre Dame de Paris skate from the 2023-2024 season, has that for sure, as does his free skate to Singing in the Rain from this past 2024-2025 season. You can see the characteristics of those stories in the choreography and the way Min-Kyu interprets them. It's less so creating a story from an unrelated piece of music, but still transmitting a story in the way a skater like Adam Chow Him Fa can do. But for a junior, just having this level of storytelling and artistry is very, very impressive already. You can see that he understands what he is skating to in the music, and even when it doesn't have a story behind it, like his short programs recently, you do see that grace and flow and expressiveness in his movements. Going back to the technical a little bit, it's worth noting that his short program personal best of 86.68 at the World Junior Championship in 2025 was done without a quad. And again, that shows that high GOE value. He is making up for the value of a quad in pure GOE because so many of those elements are so high. Honestly, all of his jumping elements are in the +1 territory. The only ones that aren't are his spins, and that's kind of normal. And even then, one of his spins is in the +1 GOE territory, and his step sequence is also. So he just has quality across the board. He isn't just a technician, he is a mix of artistry and technical. And he also has the ability to backload a triple combination. It's literally the second to last element in his short program from the 2023-2024 season. It's a triple flip, triple toe, and watching the program, I had legitimately forgotten that he was missing his combination by the time he got to it. I was like, oh, wait a second, this is really backloaded. And the GOE was amazing. He executed it so well. I have full faith in him to bring in those quads eventually as he continues working. He's upped his technical content little by little, including more triple axles, and he didn't always include it in the short before. Now he has 2 in the free skate and always includes it in the short. And so I have full faith that he can bring in those hotter elements as time goes on, and he is a worthy successor to Junwon Cha for the South Korean Figure Skating Federation. Just look forward to seeing him skate every time. It's an absolute joy. Next we have Yan Hao Lee from New Zealand, who made history at the Youth Olympic Games in 2024 by winning a bronze medal and being the first skater from New Zealand to medal at the Olympics, youth, senior, whatever. He was 12th at the Junior Worlds that year and was 5th in the Junior Grand Prix final this season. Honestly, again, revelation from the Youth Olympic Games for me. I hadn't watched him compete before, but that was a fantastic performance, and he's kept it up. You know, he made the Junior Grand Prix final this season, which is a huge accomplishment. Like Adam Hagara, Yan Hao is one of those skaters that is really balanced between consistent tech elements and artistry. Neither of them stands out over the other, but they're both pretty good. He has a great triple axel, hasn't competed quads yet, but that's fine, you know, it's juniors. And has a lot of energy and speed on the ice, which I appreciated. Also a lot of flexibility, I noticed in one of his spins. He had his non-supporting leg like extended all the way up, kind of like you would in abattement, but which you don't see much for male skaters especially. I don't know, I'm looking forward to seeing his progress, just general fun energy, and I wish him even more success like he had at the Junior Olympics going into the future. Rounding out this group of junior skaters is Sena Takahashi. Sena is the youngest out of all of the people we've talked about so far. He only started competing at the junior level internationally this season, but he did very, very well. He made the Grand Prix final and was 4th there. This past season in 2024, in terms of elements, he has a pretty consistent triple axel. Most of the GOEs I'm seeing for when he does land it, which is most of the times, are above 1 point, which is great. He's also done it in combination with a double toe, and he has competed a quad toe twice, so both times it's been downgraded, but you know, elements in progress. And in terms of artistry, didn't super stand out to me, but he is the youngest here. He has time to develop that, and I think that his program choices for this season show very different sides of him. His short is To This Is Me from The Greatest Showman, and I do think he was better suited for that one, just in terms of the energy he could bring to it. In his free, he skated to Vivaldi's Winter, and I see the potential. It's just, you know, you need time to develop things like program components, skills, and artistry and expression. But I do see the potential. His party bra is good. He has time. What really stands out with him is his speed. He just flies across the ice, and friends of mine who've seen him in person at the Junior Grand Prix final say this is even more notable in person, that they were surprised by how fast he was because they weren't expecting it. It's a fantastic quality. Sen is definitely one of those faces that we have to look out for further into the future. He is young, and I'm not sure how sustainable backloading triple combo and another triple jump at basically the end of his free program is. He's a Hamada skater, so I worry a little bit about that, but I see the potential. Like, this is all purely potential based, and I see it. I just don't have the sample size to know much more about him, but I do wish him all the best at Junior Worlds and going into the next couple of seasons. And this brings us to the end of our Rising Stars list for the men's discipline coming up on the 2025-2026 Olympic season. If you are interested in more content like this, or if you want to watch our list for the rest of the disciplines, spoiler alert, the women's was really, really hard to put together. Feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully this video gives you an idea of who you should keep an eye on for this coming season, but also for this coming quad. It's going to be very, very exciting. And even though we will get probably the usual amount of retirements we always get after an Olympic season, do not lose hope. The people who are coming up are incredible and deserve all the support. Make sure you share this video with the people in your life who might get interested in figure skating again coming up on Olympic season and who have no idea what the landscape is looking like at the moment. Maybe they'll find a new favorite. Feel free to tell me in the comments who I missed for this list, because I know there's a lot of people who could have made it, and who are your rising stars. Until the next time, this is Veronica, and I hope you stay on the inside edge.